Hello and welcome to this talk on GY118, BA Drama, Theatre and Performance. I am Dr. Ian Orr-Walsh, and indeed I'm Head of Undergraduates here at Drama and Theatre Studies at NUI Galway. And I want to talk to you a little bit about studying drama and theatre at NUI Galway for the next 20 to 30 minutes. So just to begin with, just to see there, we have an image of some of our students in rehearsal in the O'Donoghue Centre. And throughout this presentation, we will have images that were taken from productions that were staged at the O'Donoghue Centre. So to begin with, I want to give you a brief overview of the degree that we offer at undergraduate level, which is the BA Drama, Theatre and Performance. It is a 4-year degree, so you study drama and one other subject. So you don't study drama alone, you study drama with another subject. And the split is about 60% of your degree would be drama and 40% would be on another subject. And I'll talk to you a little bit about your subject choices within the arts offerings as we go on in this presentation today. So the average class size is 20 to 25 students. So we're very lucky that we have small classes. So when you come to college, you'll find that it can be quite a very large place with very large classes, sometimes over 100 or more people in a lecture hall. We don't have that at drama. We have small classes of 20 to 25 students. So we actually really get to know our students, and indeed they get individualized attention from the staff. The points has obviously fluctuated a lot within the last 2 years due to the points inflation last year. But in 2019, it was 410. Last year, then 451. So really just you need to aim quite high in order to gain access to this coveted degree. Our approach is quite different to many other universities on the island and abroad in that we mix both practice and theory in this degree. So we're not a conservatory model where it would be all practice, like you would find in a conservatory of music or a conservatory of acting. Nor are we an academic theatre studies degree where you're just sitting and reading plays and studying texts. We're a mixture of both. So our approach is one where you'll be asked to get up in class and perform things, but you'll also be asked to contribute to seminars, attend lectures. You'll spend time outside of class in rehearsal, but you'll also spend time outside of class in the library, researching and indeed writing essays and critical reflections. In your third year of your degree, you're offered internship places, so the opportunity to get some valuable work experience within the theatre industry or in another arts organization. We really match it to the students' needs at that time. We also have a series of public performances, so you'll have opportunity to be involved in productions put on at the O'Donoghue Centre for Drama, Theatre and Performance throughout your degree, particularly in your third year. Again, you'll have the opportunity to work with the professional director that year. And that is also an opportunity to work both on stage, but also behind the scenes as well in terms of lighting and costume, set, etc. Key partnerships that we have are with Druid Theatre and Galway Arts Festival. Others include the Abbey Theatre and the Gate Theatre, and I'll talk a little bit about our partnerships in a minute. But I guess they're key to what we offer in the degree in that our students get access to professionals working in the theatre industry. Particularly Druid come in and give workshops to our students and indeed talks, which all helps you to build a network of people that you know leaving leaving your degree. And also with the Galway Arts Festival, it's an opportunity for students to get involved in our selected program because it happens during the summer in July. And in that program, they will have an opportunity to work as part of the festival, but also go and see a lot of free shows and have particular talks from the practitioners that have come to the festival that year to talk to them about their own practice as well. If you're unfamiliar with Druid Theatre Company, it's an international Irish company with the artistic director of Gary Hines. And just to give you a sense of the caliber of Druid, Gary Hines was the first ever woman to win the International Tony Award for Best Director. So, and indeed Gary Hines comes in and does workshops with our students. We have no auditions, so there are no auditions at all for this to gain entry into this degree. Really, the reason behind that, I guess, is that it's not an acting conservatory, and we welcome people who may have seen some theatre in their lives, may have seen a show or been involved in a school production, and then others who have a wealth of professional experience, who came out of the womb with jazz hands. So we have both types of students, and indeed in first year, a lot of the modules are set up to bring everybody to kind of the same level. But we don't believe in auditions, because actually the statistics show that those that are interested in acting, it's the same amount come out to be successful actors in those courses that audition and those that don't. So what kind of classes will I take? So in the first 2 years of your degree, it's very much teacher-led. And then in third year and fourth year, it's more student-led as you move forward and become more of an independent, creative practitioner. So the 3 strands to your first year and second year are the acting strand, theatre histories, and stagecraft. So in first year, you would study a course called Acting 1, which introduces you to the methods and approaches of Konstantin Stanislavski, which is really kind of a basis for a lot of acting approaches. But because it's a degree course, not only do you learn these approaches, you also get to question them and how dated they might be in terms of them being written about 100 years ago. And you got to also question and interrogate them in relation to issues of gender and race and ability as well. Then in second year, that particular strand, you get a chance to be involved in the second year production, which is oftentimes a devised piece by the students, or sometimes a production as well, in terms of a full play, staging of a full play. In theatre histories then, in first year, you'll have theatre histories 1 and theatre histories 2 in the second semester. This gives you kind of a basis of all the different contexts and conventions of theatre, from the ancient Greeks all the way up to melodrama at the end of the 19th century. In that course, you also study a lot of non-Western theatre as well, because we want to show a Western bias. So you also would look at things like Japanese No theatre, as well as Indian Kathakali. In the Western tradition then as well, you'd look at things like the Restoration theatre, the Elizabethan stage, the medieval stage, and lots of other different genres and historical periods along the way. In second year then, that strand continues with you looking at modern drama. So you hit all the isms, expressionism, symbolism, and you look at Brecht's epic theatre. And then you also would have contemporary theatre in the second semester of second year, where you'll be looking at everything to do with theatre now, things like site-specific performance, so performances that take place outside of the theatre space, and also very kind of challenging works which we would call postmodern or post-dramatic. And then the third strand that you have in first year, and again continues into second year, is stagecraft. And you have stagecraft 1 in first year, stagecraft 2 in second year. And this is where you're introduced to methodologies connected to design. So set design, lighting design, and costume design in particular. And as part of those, in first year, I guess, you're introduced to the different sides, the different theories, and some of the practice in terms of how do I go about creating a lighting design, and how do I design a costume, etc. Whereas in second year, it's much more advanced in terms of putting those things into practice. And we're particularly lucky with the facilities that we have in Galway with the O'Donoghue Centre for Drama, Theatre and Performance, in which you actually have a full lighting rig at your disposal. You'll learn how to hang lights, how to program a lighting board, etc. Invaluable skills, whether you become a lighting designer or not, just to know that even if you want to become a director, very important that you would know all about lighting and about costume, etc. All these things are interrelated. It is a collaborative art form that you are studying. So in third year, as I said already, you'll have the opportunity to do an internship for a semester. You also have the opportunity to study abroad, which I'll talk about in a minute. But if you're not doing either of those things, or in the semester that you're not abroad, or the semester that you're not doing your internship, you have the opportunity to do optional modules as well. And we have some specialized modules that year. We look at theatre for children and young people as an option, a very, very popular module. And indeed, we have our own Bobberow Festival in Galway. which is a huge theatre festival for children and young people. And that module is connected to that particular festival. So you get an opportunity to go to those shows and indeed create your own performance for children and young people. And there's a lot of jobs in that area as well. Because of our commitment to the Irish language as well, we have Irish theatre and theatre in the Irish language that year as well. And some people may be studying Gaeilge as their other subject. And indeed, they have an opportunity here to perform Os Gaeilge and to study the canon of Irish theatre in the Irish language. And then there's also a musical theatre option that year as well. It comes with a slight health warning that we don't train people in terms of voice or performance. It's a 12-week course in musical theatre, but it very much prepares people in relation to directing musical theatre, and indeed to look at the actual art form of musical theatre and how it differs in terms of approaches to the other art forms, the other genres within theatre studies. Then in fourth year, you have that opportunity to do a practice-based project. This will be when you perform your own piece that you yourself have devised and rehearsed, and it will be performed then in the O'Donoghue Centre. And you have a chance then to reflect on this. And this really then is in a way a piece of work that you can use as something to show off your skills when you leave the degree. It's in a way your calling card. It's a piece of performance that you can shop around to an extent, or perhaps get developed into a fuller performance that you could then put on professionally. And that practice-based project module is also twinned with another module called arts management that you would do in fourth year, where indeed in this module you learn all about how to create your CV, your portfolio if you are very interested in set at that stage, whatever you're deciding to specialize in, a show reel if you want to be an actor. All of those things, those skills are given to you, but also you get the opportunity to fill out an Arts Council application form and understand things about budgeting and filling out forms. So again, that you will have those skills on leaving us to create and get work for yourself, as opposed to waiting for the phone to ring after you leave the course, waiting to be cast in something, or waiting to get a lighting gig or whatever. This actually is a way for you to go out and start creating work yourself and actually going and getting funding for yourself straight away as a creative artist. So we try to give you those skills. We feel a responsibility that our graduates are able to do that for themselves. So what's the actual name of the degree? What's the qualification I'll get coming out of this? Well, it will be a BA in Drama, Theatre and Performance and another subject. So and English, or and French, or and psychology. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what other things you can study alongside drama right now. So you can study all of those subjects you can see on the slide: archaeology, French, maths, legal studies, psychology. We find that actually the diversity of subjects coming into us, the more that students are studying different subjects, the more enriched the program is actually. So it's wonderful that people are studying such diverse subjects. You can obviously take a language, and that also is something I'll talk about in relation to your study abroad in a second. The things that you can't do, unfortunately at the moment, you can't do sociology and politics, IT and Lane and Astrucon. And a question we get a lot, unfortunately, is people want to do film studies with drama studies. And at the moment, you cannot do that as a combination, but we do have our new BA in Performance and Screen Studies, which actually is a really exciting opportunity for you to bring those two disciplines together in a very contemporary degree that looks at kind of digital formats, etc. So I would ask you to check out that talk as well, as it is a new degree that we have. So why study drama and theatre just generally? Well, I guess it is a huge industry for Ireland. We punch way above our weight in terms of film and theatre internationally for the size of our population. We have a very deep and rich history of performance in this country. And indeed, we are renowned worldwide for our theatre productions, and indeed our playwrights and actors. Beyond that, the degree will build incredibly useful transferable skills in terms of presentations, group work, writing, and improvisation. the drama graduates are some of the most employable arts graduates out there across different industries. And the reason is very obvious. They're going to be very confident and good at presentation skills. They're very good at working in teams, because constantly throughout your degree, you're asked to work as a group. And then also they're great at making deadlines. Because we all know that famous adage is true, that the show must go on, and indeed our students push themselves no matter what to have everything ready when the curtain goes up or the lights come on. We have small classes, which is a huge advantage, as I briefly mentioned already, that you actually get to know the people in your class very, very well, and indeed your students and tutors get to know you very well as well. An area of strategic priority for NUI Galway as well. So that is very obvious when you come and visit us on campus. You will see that our theatre space, our Centre for Drama, Theatre and Performance, has 3 rehearsal studios. It has a dedicated lecture room, and then it has this state-of-the-art theatre space, which has one of the most enviable lighting rigs in the country. In fact, it has better lights than the National Theatre, the Abbey in Dublin has, because all of our lights would be LED lights, which is unusual to get. And indeed, you get to train in on all of these fantastic facilities. Obviously, there's dressing rooms and showers and all that kind of stuff behind as well, and a professional tannoy system, so the stage manager can talk to the lighting designer through headphones. All those kind of lovely things are opportunities you get to use all that equipment, and the university has invested heavily in creating this space for ourselves, and indeed in gathering archival materials for our students to study as well, which I'll speak about briefly as well. And then finally, I guess there's we have a core value of the ensemble. So within theatre, people talk about an ensemble being a group of people working together. And sometimes you may see there's an award and award shows for best ensemble, for best people working together, no star actors, and that is certainly a value that we hold very dear in our degree here. So you'll really get to work together with people and raise each other up, actually, and it's lovely to see that our students every year are very, very supportive of each other. This is not Fame Academy. This is not where people are competitive against each other and trying to bring each other down. It's actually incredibly the opposite, in fact. So why study in Galway in particular? Well, I think our approach, as I've mentioned, in terms of theatre, marrying both theory and practice, is quite unique. And we would emphasize that our graduates are those that can throw their hands at all aspects of theatre. They have a broad range of skills. They'll know something about acting, but they'll also know something about lighting, design, costume, directing. They'll be well versed in theatre history, and they'll also look at things like performance studies, where they're looking at performances, performance art and things outside of the theatre. So very, very cultured, erudite students who are coming with ideas, and they are the creative artists of the future. They are what we like to call theatre makers. So I think that's a unique approach that we have in Galway. The state-of-the-art facilities are a big selling point, as I've said already. And then you have these opportunities to be in productions, to actually get noticed, have people see your work, try out and experiment things of your own, take ownership and produce pieces as part of the degree, and also great opportunities to get some skills and training in the backstage aspects of theatre, as well as the onstage stuff. The partnerships, as I mentioned before, are key to our degree as well, in creating professional networks for you as you get to know people coming in and giving guest talks. That will then hopefully stand to you as you graduate, and indeed has very much stood to many of our graduates who are working in the Abbey, who are working in Druid, who are working for the Gate, etc., since they have left their degree. There's a very clear line of transition there with our students, which is wonderful to see as well. And then also the 4 years allows for this opportunities to have the internship, to have the study abroad experience, again, creating international links for you as a student beyond even just those within this country. And then the theatre archive. So we have the largest collection of theatre archives in the country, or indeed on the island. And what that means is you have access to materials, original materials, through the digitized archives. You can look at them online, the Abbey archives and the Gate, but also you can go into the library and actually touch and research letters written by Yeats, by Brian Friel, by these kind of key people over the years, and see photos of Liam Neeson in early productions, or Stephen Ray, etc. So in terms of international exchange then, we have particular exchange relationships with the University of California, Berkeley, Santa Barbara, and Los Angeles, with Berea, and indeed in that university you can have free room and board while you're there, so that's a very coveted one. We have relationships with UNC, Chapel Hill, Chicago, Perth, British Columbia. So you have the opportunity to go to the US, Canada, and Australia for a semester in third year and study theatre studies in a different university. So to go to California, get a tan, and also study theatre design sounds pretty wonderful to me. If you're studying a European language as well, you get the opportunity to go to Europe for a semester. So we have a relationship with the University in Tours in France, Oviedo in Spain. Most recently, we have a relationship with a university in Malta. And we also send students to Germany and Italy as well, depending what language you might be studying. So you have those international exchanges. A question that always seems to come up at open days is, can I do both? Can I go to the US and also go to Italy for a semester? And yes, you can. It means that you won't be in Ireland for the whole of your studies in third year, but it is something that you can do. And some students definitely do that who are studying a language, but also still want to have a US experience. Productions then, I guess throughout this, you've been seeing these kind of odd and strange pictures throughout of our students. These are some of the productions over the years. I guess I favored some of the productions that I've directed myself in some of the images, but there's an image of The Accidental Death of an Anarchist, this kind of crazy image, which was a farcical play done in kind of a Father Ted type style, but also linked up to the Commedia dell'arte style. And that's the one with the makeup and the bomb in the picture there. And then there's another expressionistic piece by a female playwright called Sophie Treadwell, there in that picture in the center, called Machinal. And then the last piece is a picture of Twelfth Night by Shakespeare, another production that was done here with students at the O'Donoghue Centre. We've invested heavily in resources as well for our students, so that you don't have to pay out for books. So all of your plays that we have in your courses are pretty much available online for you to download or read online, and they are available through Drama Online. And then also we have subscriptions to the National Theatre Live and Digital Theatre Plus and the Metropolitan Opera. And what that means is you can look at a lot of productions online as well of professional theatre productions, and these are really, really well filmed productions. You can't get these without access, without you have to have your student ID, etc., to get access to these particular resources. But really, really helps, and of course has been fundamental to us continuing to deliver our classes through the pandemic as well. So we are delighted to have those resources, and again, this is something that is offered to you in the courses. I've mentioned the archives before already, but I guess it's important to underline this, that, you know, as part of your classes, if you're studying Irish theatre, for instance, we have the opportunity as teachers to show you video footage of particular Abbey Theatre performances that nobody else gets to see, because we are the ones that have the access to the digital archive of the Abbey Theatre. You'll also get to see photos. You can do projects in relation to these performances. If you're interested in playwriting, you can see early drafts of famous plays by playwrights. People might be familiar with Brian Friel's Philadelphia, Here I Come, for instance, and you get to see the early drafts of that, and indeed the director's prompt book on kind of how they staged the original performance of that at the Gate Theatre, and likewise famous performances at the Abbey as well. Here you'll see a picture, obviously, of Liam Neeson there, and this is also a screenshot, I guess, of the logbook of all the different plays that have come in that month to the Abbey from different people, and some famous names are to be seen there. We also have the Gate Theatre Digital Archive, as I said as well, the Gate Theatre in Dublin, a very famous theatre in its own right as well, internationally recognised, famous for its Beckett and Pinter festivals. And indeed, you'll see here, there's a letter in the archive from Harold Pinter thanking the then director, Michael Colgan, for putting on the Pinter Festival. And Harold Pinter, the playwright, writes at the end there, P.S. I've just heard only 45 minutes ago that I've won the Nobel Prize. I'm speechless. So there's lovely little gems like that in the archives. And then there we see a picture of Voldemort himself, Ray Fiennes, playing Frank Hardy in the Brian Friel's Faith Healer, another very famous play that toured and was on Broadway for several months to great critical success. So again, you have the opportunity to navigate and look at all these things, and they'll be brought into all of your classes as well. Here's a tweet from one of our students, obviously it wasn't from last year, from a year before that, telling you about her week. So she says to us, what a week. I had the amazing opportunity to see Grief is the Thing with Feathers, which was a play as part of the Galway Arts Festival that starred Cillian Murphy. So she says, Grief is the Thing with Feathers last night, and had an introductory masterclass with the incredible Gary Hines, and have started an internship with an idol of mine, Andrew Flynn. Incredibly grateful right now at NUI with #thankful. So the kind of busyness but the exposure, I guess, to these different things that you get in our course, I think is important. And access to people like Gary Hines, Andrew Flynn, and also opportunities to see plays for free as well, which is an added bonus. So at the end of all this, that's all wonderful, but at the end of all this, what kind of job will I get? There are lots and lots of opportunities for drama graduates. As I said already, they're very, very employable graduates. In that way, this is a very parent-friendly degree if you're going home to tell them what you're doing with your future. It is a career in arts is an obvious choice for you. So there's lots of opportunities in terms of practice and production. And you can use your theatre studies degree to also launch into things like screen studies or into film, comedy, writing, all those kind of things as well are open to you. You'll find that a lot of the famous comedians and TV personalities that usually have a theatre degree as a basis for their as their background. There's obviously a career in academia available to people as well. And there's, of course, the career in theatre studies itself and in theatre itself, and all the benefits of an arts degree as well. So, you can go on to become a teacher, to be involved in the public service. All of the arts councils need programmers for various festivals and for museums and galleries, etc. This kind of degree really helps in relation to that, in relation to tourism and heritage, also in relation to business and information technology. As I said before, the transferable skills that we have in terms of presentation, working in teams, meeting deadlines, all of those things are available. And then, of course, by studying your other subject, English or French, you have opportunities to develop that side of things as well. So it's not that you're just doing drama and theatre studies, you also have that other strand to your bow as well, which often is in some ways something to fall back on, I guess, as well, in case things don't work out in terms of the theatre side of things. But largely, I think with this degree, because of the range of skills that you get, it shouldn't be that you even have to think like that. So I'm so happy that I got the opportunity to speak to you today, and I hope that you enjoyed this talk. And if you have any questions, these are the contact details. So again, just to reiterate, I guess, I'm Ian Walsh, and my email is ian.walsh@nuigalway.ie. I'm sometimes slow to respond, if I'm honest, so you're better off emailing drama@nuigalway.ie, which is the main email for our administrators who can get back to you quite quickly on things. And then also check out, of course, our Twitter handle at NUIG Drama, and indeed our Facebook page, which again is NUIG Drama as well. So, and indeed, if you have any questions generally on the virtual open day or webinars, etc., visit the help desk. So thank you for listening, and indeed, thank you for being here and giving me this opportunity. Bye-bye.